in the political space. It's going to be an interesting one this evening. A lot to talk about after the Democracy Day celebration. That speech by the president to the joint sitting of the National Assembly has brought about a lot of conversation in the political space. And of course, we will be looking at the reactions of Abuja. A really nice development, if you ask me. Somehow we're able to probe into the mind of the president on a lot of issues. Party states, the president used the opportunity of the Democracy Day address to the National Assembly to really talk about that particular issue. Again, we'll look at that particular part of the speech of the president when he said that, look, why are we worried? I'm not one of the people that will advocate for a one-party state, but look, it will be unconstitutional for me to start. Already have Barrister Curtis Adigba with me via the phone line. Good evening, Barrister. Good afternoon to you from wherever you are talking to us from.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Pleasure speaking with you today.
Okay, it's good afternoon there, but it's good evening here. Nice to have you on the show this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, I also have Nuruddin Adegbero with us in the studio this evening. Baba D here.
Good evening to all our listeners. Barrister Curtis, good evening. And the one that in the studio yesterday, some people are giving me name to be Omo Joba.
It's nice to have you in the studio, Nuruddin, looking fresh and sharp. Joseph Olorunso, it's nice to also have you on the show this evening.
Thank you very much. I was trying to release one song, say, now our new redeem be this, so we no get another one.
Barrister, you were not around, but I'm sure you also saw it making it. It was actually trending. We had to quickly do a bit of our own part of that conversation when we got the news that our own Nuruddin was in the net.
There's no officer now. Now just wake me up.
Waiting on the show.
Me I know here say one small boy for Agege where they call himself chairman don't lock Nuruddin.
That's small man. No, that big man, a old chairman, Ogajo.
Wait, big man when you see they take the major responsibility for local government in Nigeria. Even for constitution, they then have to collect tenement rate.
Don't pass
for their eyes. For their eyes, governor sees them. None of them feel right or challenge them. Not small people that they exercise their own power. Yeah.
But it's okay. Well,
they talk power, they get power.
Like I told you earlier before the show, they say they don't settle the matter. And we say no problem.
If I'm Robert Thief, you know me. Even if you go back, the people where thief, you know me say no thief. You still do bad thing.
Okay, yeah, but don't worry. What we've said again is that look on this platform, in this particular station, it's our own duty to do journalism the best way. We understand that it should be done professionally. They can accuse every other person of not being trained as a journalist. They can't accuse us. And so we'll do our job professionally. We'll continue to hold the government. Don't do well. It's also our responsibility to hold them to account. Because again, these are public officials. They hold the trust of the people. They are working with the resources of the people, not their personal money. So it's also very important that.
What?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
If we are going to forgive the chairman, we are not going to forgive the police who have made themselves instruments of hire. Was Nuruddin ever invited by the police and he refused to go there to arrest him in the mosque? What was the show all about? First of all, they were supposed to have sent him a letter of invitation to say that we have received a complaint against you and we want you to come and shed light on the complaint or answer to it. Even if he didn't go the first time, they will remind him a second time.
Yeah, you have an invitation from us.
But to go and storm his house like a common criminal, just because since they have made themselves an organization for hire, they should continue to do what they are doing.
Which is very unfortunate, really. We would expect.
For me, I won't blame the the local government chairman. Just like what Barrister Curtis said, I pray one day police should actually know, we should school them, or people should school them, what police means to this system. Because I know that we have a very competent, vibrant, distinguished police station in Agege. Small letter, they do their work. Report to that place to reduce your stress and your energy. You push your meeting. Is it Agege police station, right? Do you know what? I was listening to one police officer one day. He said, "Oga, if we want to do our own, he said, you will never meet the big condition that the magistrate will give. What does he say? It means that it's magistrate help us slam this man on big condition that he will never meet. Fulfill. Is that the police?
The welfare of the police, the need for us to do a lot more, to improve the welfare of the average policeman out there. But would assume that they're also a victim of the system, So what more can we say other than say that, look, they might not even know that they're also a victim of this very terrible system that we are trying to hold to account on this platform. Yes, I'm with you, Barrister.
It's not about the welfare of the police. Pay every policeman 10 million every month if their character does not change.
So what do you think will change their character and behavior?
Let me tell you what is the mentality. Let me tell you. You can't change a system if you keep recruiting the same set of people. Let's look at the way we recruit our policemen. What kind of people do we recruit into the police? People who have looked for... majority of our policemen are those who couldn't find other jobs. Properly not educated. Let me give you an example. You know the way mainland FM, every day you are praying and expecting that somebody will walk in. How our police stations are. Every day they are praying for people to come in and lodge complaints. Na business center. And when you go there so that they can come within their purview, you might just say you are having a disagreement with somebody. They say put threat to life there so it can be strong.
Many things strong. Where?
That is the kind of police station we have in the country.
Very unfortunate.
No invitation to the person to come and answer. You mobilize to go and storm a house. If they tell you that some armed robbers were in that house, you will not go there.
Fortunately, Barrister. Let's go straight to the issues we have this evening. It's still Political Roundtable, mainland 98.3 FM. We're streaming the show live on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. You can also listen to us via the Radio Garden platform. You can also listen to us live on our website. And the first one for this evening is on the President's June 12 address to the National Assembly. The Obidient movement slammed the President over that comment on the opposition in Disarray. That particular part of the statement of the President where he said, look, the opposition is in Disarray and it's not my fault and I'm not going to help you. In fact, I'm happy. I like the fact that you guys are in Disarray. Also, there are CSOs who have also questioned that June 12 list, that national awards list. There are people who feel that, look, why the presidency or the president leave out some particular names? Who were his own associates? People who were with him who he could not have forgotten. They were people who were with him in the trench. Is this a list of people only for people who have not spoken against you? So if you have been in the trenches together and they are solely speaking against you, the president is saying one thing and doing something completely different when it comes to disorganization of the opposition political parties in Nigeria. So that will be our first issue for conversation this evening. And then Professor Atairu Jega, the former INEC chairman, has said that, look, Nigeria's democracy we're gradually sliding into autocracy, or what you can call authoritarianism. How true is that statement from Professor Atairu Jega? And then finally, we're going to be looking at governance issues by looking at what the Senate spokesperson is saying. In fact, I shared this topic with one of my friends, who is also a friend on the roundtable, and he said, this Senate spokesperson, how did he even choose himself? But again, we'll have this conversation where the Senate spokesperson, Mr. Femi, are there part-time as legislators, because those people who are saying it should be part-time job. don't know what they are saying. In fact, he's saying that, look, the role of the legislators is beyond just going to make laws. They are the closest to the people. They are the most accessible to the people. In fact, because they are accessible to the people, they operate on a part-time basis. Their job is too important for them to be on part-time. That's what the Senate spokesperson is saying this. So we'll look at all of these issues and say, is that a statement of fact that indeed these guys are too important to now begin to call for them to operate on the ment? A group loyal to the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has condemned President Bola Tinubu's recent remarks celebrating the division amongst opposition political parties, describing Tinubu's remark of opposition in disarray as undemocratic and dangerous for Nigeria's political future. The group said the president's comments were indicative of a deeper agenda to destabilize the democratic process. Now, a party, Barrister Nuruddin Joseph, called the Action Democratic Party, the ADP. I've also
where they are office?
Well, but they are a political party.
And they are registered.
And they are registered. But they said something very interesting, and that's why I've decided to bring them into this conversation. Yes, we know the Obedients are very popular, well known. They have said that, look, the president has a bigger agenda, and that is mockery of the opposition in disarray. Is reflective of a deeper agenda to actually turn the Nigerian state into a one-party autocracy. But the Action Democratic Party has accused Nigeria into a one-party state. Speaking to journalists in Abuja on Thursday, the ADP national chairman, engineer Yᴏᴜᴜᴛᴜ, described the president's comments as insincere and contradicted. Admitted to dismembering a victim but denied killing her. That the president's comments on, I'm not interested in one party, but it will not be my job to fix the home of the opposition. In fact, I'm happy that their house is in disarray. And so for people who want to come and join my party, we can't stop them from coming. So the ADP national chairman is saying that, look, Tinubu's comments can be likened to a court testimony where a suspect admitted to dismembering the body of a victim, but no me kill him, but I me cut him body into pieces. And in his words now, quoting Yᴏᴜᴜᴛᴜ, who is the chairman of the ADP, said that, look, Bola Tinubu is dismembering the political space and claiming he's not killing it. His rhetoric does not align with his actions. I'm going to start with you, Barrister. Well, we all listened to the Democracy Day June 12 speech of the president to the joint sitting of the National Assembly. We're going to, again, a lot was said, so we just speak about 2 or 3 issues from that particular speech of the president. But it's not my job to fix the house of the opposition. They should tidy that up themselves. In fact, it's a pleasure to see your house in disarray, and it will be unconstitutional for me to stop anybody who wants to jump ship into the APC. Barrister, the ADP has said, look, this is just like a culprit, a suspect who has testified in court saying, look, now me cut the body into pieces, but not be me kill him. Well, what do you think, Barrister?
Okay, so first and foremost, I am surprised at those who are surprised that things like this are happening under Tinubu. Yeah, of course, I mean, this is the master strategist in disguising his real self and his intentions. He said everything good about democracy. He intervened in our political. Tinubu is the one setting fire.
But you're the firefighter.
And he's pretending to be the firefighter, whereas he's the attorney. You realize that Lamido Apamputu accused Peter Obi of being dumb by playing along with Abure, knowing that Abure is working for Tinubu. And that's the problem they have. So look, we all are transforming or using power for anything good for the people. He loves power. This guy wants to be the groom in every wedding and the corpse in every funeral. He wants to be the center of attention as far as the Nigerian project is concerned. And now he has the opportunity. So,
but Barrister, what more?
They have not been in power after 2027. And nothing to stand on his way. And that is why he doesn't. You see, there's something called reverse psychology. You say the things you don't want people to believe that that's what you mean, but that's exactly what you are doing. It's not my responsibility. What are his responsibilities in the first place? Protection of life and security, 0. And they are praising themselves. The economy is in the tailspin, and they are praising them more than Nigeria. Today, we are the headquarters of global poverty. More people have entered into poverty in Nigeria than they are in India currently. So, now, the prompt opposition to hold the feet of the ruling party to the fire in the past are suddenly forgotten. Conveniently now, that it doesn't matter who joins his party. Whoever is is ready to join him. In fact, talking about that list that was released, one prominent name that should have been there with the GCFR title is Babangida.
June 12th, I'm Babangida.
Yes. How would June 12th have been possible without Babangida?
Maybe we'll not be celebrating June 12th today if the election.
some of the people that got awards actually worked with Babangida and Abacha to truncate June 12th. That list, first of all, let me concede. It is the right of the president to honor anyone he wants to honor.
That established.
It is also his right not to honor anybody he doesn't want to honor. But it's our right to examine that list. And that list is a list of political friends of the president.
Maybe not all of
even
them,
those who deserve to be there, right? That when you are talking about their contributions to the fight for their there because they are now friends and supporters of the president. If they weren't, they won't be there. I know people who went to jail, and people say, it's because he's your friend. Babafemi Ojodu was detained.
Of course,
in solitary confinement for 9 months. Even after Abacha died, he was forgotten because they had lied that he had been released. But you know why he's not on the list? Because he's a political enemy today. Again, it is the prerogative of the president to give an award to whoever he wants to give. But it's sheer hypocrisy on his part not to recognize IBBK. You are celebrating the tide that came from the refusal of a doctor to abort the pregnancy. But you are not celebrating the man who made the woman pregnant. I know a lot of people will find it difficult to understand this logic.
This logic, they fear me. But IBBK, oh no. Because again, barrister, go on.
I will anchor on this point by telling you that, look, if anybody expects President Tinubu to aid the cause of democracy in Nigeria, when it comes to the realization of his personal ambition, the person is mistaken. All that Tinubu wanted in his life, all that he lived for, is what he has accomplished.
So what
and he
more?
wants to hold on to it as fast as possible and as long as possible. Now we are even talking of second term. I want to go on record that if by mistake or by compulsion, Tinubu is elected for a second term in Nigeria, he will not finish serving the second year of the second term before the agenda for third term will be unfolded.
Barrister, let me ask you this. I'm going to excuse the president because again, there's a second term agenda, and so he wants everything in for him. He wants a consolidation of political strength to outmuzzle the opposition. As we'll see some people that will start to advocate for third term.
Let me tell you, people like WG Uzodimma. I'm calling names now. Write it to this down.
May all start to call for a third term.
And some of these political vultures will start calling for him to run for third term because he has done so much for Nigeria.
But I bet
the president on anything.
I think I want to bet on him on that. My mind tells me I should bet on him on that.
Let me tell you. let's be evidential now.
All right. Condemned it, yes.
Did this president condemn the removal of fuel subsidy without making plans to take care of the after effects?
He did.
Yes or no?
He did.
Okay. Did this president condemn the slide towards one-party system?
He did.
At some point.
He did. Is that people don't cross. And I think he would not be one of those people that would even...
There is no red line with this man. This man has told you. Listen, this man has told you, I am happy that the opposition is in disarray. I cannot prevent anybody who wants to join my party. First of all, APC is not his party. You see, where politics is played on the basis of principle, there are certain people you don't accept in your party. The British Conservative Party rejected our values, don't agree.
Values and principles.
Don't agree. You know, in the course of the week, I saw a video put out by Tᴏɪᴛᴛᴇʀ. I don't know how many of you saw it. Where he made some point. He said he got a call from the president to come and see him.
Yes, we saw the video.
And he said he went there and he told the president. And the president said, I don't understand what you mean by the name. He said, look, Prime Minister Harold Wilson of United Kingdom said Awolowo was so endowed intellectually that he could govern
of Nigeria.
You who symbolizes controversy in every area of your life. People better.
So don't play God.
Don't play God. You see, this man, I just wish that he has people around him who can contain him and make him to be a bit measured. When he mounts the political rostrum, he says whatever comes to his mind. He doesn't give a damn about the damage he's capable of doing to the psyche of our national politics. How can you preside over a democratic system? Do you understand?
I'm with you.
So let's stop wasting money on conducting elections. Why do we waste all the billions to conduct elections? In 2027, just declare him as the winner and let him continue.
All right.
As simple as that.
Okay, Barrister, we're still going to come to this conversation because, again, I think this aligns perfectly with what Professor Atahiru Jega is saying about...
But please, they have to give Babangida an award.
Barrister, don't be here. That one, me personally will process that one. You know. Okay, I was listening to 괏 I think I said, "Wala with this." But Nuruddin, you and I before the show were having this conversation as to why some names were, well meted from that party. There's no way the president would have forgotten about the roles of Babafemi Ojudu in this democratic struggle. Omoyele use this early youth. If there's one young man that suffered from military brutality during the dark days of military regime in this country, that's to be Comrade Omoyele Sowore. Then Mr. Richard Akinola too was a known voice in the wilderness at that time. The fight, CLO, and those were guys. And then Chief Dele Momodu, Bob D. These were guys who were even in exile with the president then. During the Nadeco days, the former governor of Ekiti State.
Forgetting one name, Chifayo Padoku.
Chifayo Padoku too. Yes. Chifayo Padoku too. So, and to now make matters worse, a man that is alive was put on the posthumous list as dead, although they've apologized for that. Do you think this was a list that was done as a result of political favoritism, or at some point when they were putting this list, they got to some of these names and said, no, these people are talking against us now, we can't add them to this list, or because they know if they add them, like Sowore said, they would have caused more trouble than try to solve any problem. But on the list, what's your take? And then on the aspect of the president saying it's not my job to feed
politics as a route to governance in Nigeria. They see it as a game.
So even if it's a game, shouldn't there be some level of morality?
No, what?
Even in football, there are rules. Even in every sport.
Wait, there is no fair play in the rules of Nigerian politics.
Just play it anyhow.
You take anything, immediately it's on your table, you do it anyhow you want to do it. And that is the reason. Look, one of the tenets of democracy,
yes,
is the opposition.
Vibrant, functional opposition.
That in fact, it is mandatory. If it's not mandatory for an opposition to be in politics, there won't be a law about rerun. There won't be about you must have 2/3. That was entrenched in our constitution. Any politician in Nigeria that believes that opposition does not matter, or whatever they should be having problem, or there should not be opposition at all, is not a Democrat.
The president is not saying there shouldn't be opposition. What is
your
saying?
local government chairman does not believe in opposition. That's why he loves you up.
But Nuruddin, Barrister, I'm coming to you on a very serious note. Don't accuse me of people who have decided to not to organize themselves. And if you look at it, the PDP's problem, maybe, like Yorubas will say, Tᴏɪᴜ̀̀bálánú alangbaolewo.
See what the president said about that particular one? It is in a plain language. It is not political language.
Okay.
To some certain people, hey, Shebi is not a member of PDP and Labour Party. But how can he call crisis in it? That is to
laymen who don't know politics.
But in politics,
you know, say.
Okay, now look at the history. Act like this. When he was a governor in 1999, the first thing he has to do is this: the power that brought him into power of Afenifere, he made sure he dismantled it. The deputy governor that was given to him was set packing. After that, what did he do? He made sure he removed the hand of Afenifere from AD in Lagos State.
There are still some Afenifere members who are in Gako. Our daddy is still Afenifere.
Which your daddy?
Prince is Afenifere.
That AD, he created AC. Do you know the reason why he created AC? In order to be away from the AD, because AC and AD, they were political parties together at the same time. And that is the thing. From that particular one, he killed opposition in Lagos State.
Currently, I was told that the PDP structure that was led by these Lagos for Lagos people, they've dissolved it and they moved it to the APC.
Now, and don't forget, you remember that in Lagos State, when they want to do governorship, whatever, the person that will take the ticket of PDP is a consultant, is a business partner, that opposition.
Is that why the Lagos for Lagos man this now moved to the APC and dissolved all his PDP structure? Or it was just an
influence? You and I know.
Yes.
That
Lagos for Lagos man.
That Ibadan. Look, don't let us deceive ourselves. There are some people on that list that they merited to be on that list. People in government today, if they are not friends with them,
that's why I listed. Look, it would have been better if Sᴏᴜ made the list and he said, I know go collect.
I told some certain people.
How do you remove Sᴏᴜ from a list on June 12th?
To be corrected.
Yes.
What Sᴏᴜ put into the issue of June 12th?
Sᴏᴜ contributed more than Bola Tinubu, president of Nigeria.
I agree with you on that 100%.
Because he stood.
He was here.
The reason why some people did not know why Sᴏᴜ is behaving the way he's behaving now, where anything activism he put it on his head, is because of what military has told him to.
And so for him to be alive,
for him to be Fuhad and High, we all know how tempo, the news, how the story is all about now. How can you say you pick editor, the deputy editor and political editor?
You omitted his name.
And these are people that were jailed.
To get out.
Then another one again, apart from the one of Ojudu, that one, I don't think the president brought president to be governor. Ojudu was instrumental to it. We know what the news did.
Yeah.
It has Akpen Road there now. Even guy decide to be CFR. I don't see the reason why Dele Momodu will not be CFR.
It's on that juice for a struggle.
Ha! Then another thing again is that Okpadokun, that Baba, if I secretary, even if they get it, even work.
What about Aya Adebanjo?
Those ones, it automatically GCAON, because this one, they are regular customer. Do you know how many times Okpadokun will have been killed? Do you know how many times that soldier faced them and shot them?
They should do another list.
The president.
Or the list does not really matter.
If he really wants, because what it means is that it makes the list watery. Because there are some certain people that you took one person from their group, leave deputy editor. And deputy editor is the one that even going around. And you now left Dele Momodu. You left Ojudu. You pick Nosai Gbebo.
Yes.
You now left Ojudu. you let Dele Momodu. I tried to.
No. What we are saying is that should it have gotten to the point where, these guys should be on the list?
Look, national honor. That is why I can.
Should not be about.
That is the reason why some people will tell you, if you give me this kind of, I won't take it because of those people involved.
I just listened to Ḥourè where he said that, look,
it's true.
He would not have to, because before again I come name of Tokunbo Afikúnyomi from the list.
Even Adele.
Now on the posthumous list,
yes.
He should have also been on that list. But because again, these guys who I'm sure
some people that work with you
will you work together. Okay, but WG괶 do you think that, look, again, the president has called, maybe we are crying more than the bereaved. So, but I'm saying that we can be called different names, but do you think that we are over worrying ourselves that these guys did not make the list in the first place? And also, do you think that we're not being fair to the president on the issue of the opposition being in disarray? That, look, it's about politics. The man wants to win. And if the opposition cannot put their house in order, look at the former Senate president, former governor of Kwara State, Bukola Saraki. He was at the sitting, sitting of the joint address of the president. And he has said, okay, now that the president has said, my hand no deal for opposition, wahala, even though he said he's happy, okay, opposition will now find a way to solve our problem. That he believes the president for saying he has no hand in the fight of the opposition, even though he's happy that they're in disarray, but it's not his job to fix it.
That one day.
Yeah, that Bukola Saraki was at that particular address of the president to the National Assembly. But what do you think? Are we being unfair to the president? And do you think the list is a situation where we are crying more than the bereaved?
Okay, let me start from the decamping or potting, in any way you put it. I think you would blame some of those people that are decamping. We blame them in the sense that until when we see what they are, Patrick Wilmot, forwarded by Wallace intervention, I think intervention 6. I say there are some people when they say because some of these guys that are decamping, it's possible. I do say it in many places that there are some many times during the election, maybe election is coming, you see some of the security agencies, particularly the anti-graft agency, the police of this world. It's possible that if an apology to maybe the sitting people in power, you can even carry human being with blood trying to slap someone. You are not going to cross this place. So it's possible there are some people that we see the camping. By the time the presence of fact, guy, you are former local government chairman, you are so person, we have your record. And do you want to help yourself? Support this administration, then possibly your sin may be tampered with. Maybe waiting any time you raise your voice again against the administration. This has happened even during the former president. The popular issue of a party chairman, a president there, I don't know his name. He went to his house, chop pounded yam with the person. After finishing pounded yam, and give him a paper that said, Ogaoya, can you sign that you are resigned as a party chairman and become a different thing entirely? So until when I know what they confront some of these people that are decamping, then I can now say, okay, they are decamping for selfish reason, or they actually push to decamp. But then coming to the list, on the list, Oga Fuad, I think the mistaking of people that are alive and putting them on a post, only that one have defined the way the list was
put together.
Yes, because you are talking of not a list that a local government want to present to the House of Assembly.
Even if it's a local government.
No, not to me, the joint session of both the lower house and the upper house and the whole world will be looking at that list, like looking at our president.
So you have that kind of error.
Life. And you now have such an error. By now, if we are a serious country, we would have been here that a lot of people on their
CON. Okay. So you have Kudirat Abiola CFR, Shehu Musa Yaradua GCFR, Professor Humphrey Nwosu CON, Rear Admiral Ndubisi Kanu CON, Alhaji Balarabe Musa CFR, Powerful Rwani CFR, Bagauda Kato OON, Chima Ubani OON, Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti CON, Frederick Fashion CON, Professor Festus Yai CON, Dr. John Yima Sen OON, Al-Aja Sawaba Gambo CON, Dr. Edwin Madu Nagu, CON, Dr. Alex Ibru, CON, Chibola Ige, CFR, Paru Ben Fasoranti, CFR. If I apologize for putting his name on the list, on the post. You must at this time to refrain from doing that. We would open the phone lines for you to call in at the right time. If you keep calling, you're going to be interfering with our call to Barrister Curtis Adigba. We have Kunle Ajibade and Osai Gebo, Dapo Olorunyomi, Bayo Nonuga, Ayo Obe, Dari Babarinsa, Bishop Matthew Azanku, Kashe Usani, Governor Ubasani, Barrister Femi Falana, Senator Tokunbo Fufuyomi, Honorable Labaran Maku, Dr. Tuji Alausa, Honorable Minister Abdul Oro, Odia Ofiemon, Seye Kehinde. That's
Nuga, you not no, it's obvious.
No problem. Honorable Lawale Oshun, Dr. Amos Akingba, Professor Segun Gbadegesi. Okay, long list. But Barrister, I'd like you to comment on. Yes.
I want to just add this too, that if this name, all this list is surrounding the cycle, the very, very important is on that list. Because you are talking of 1990.
Well, that one will go protest that.
And before Zakotis to say anything, look, for people to know, number of journalists.
He plenty where.
It shows the way what we've contributed to Nigeria,
this democracy,
even more than the politicians.
But the same people are now part of people who say, "Oh, you people are not patriotic for questioning the government at this time." But Barrister, you wanted to say something before I take you into this Saraki conversation.
I think people do not understand that Felix Moka did not just drop out of the mono. Felix Moka has been an activist in Lagos for so many years, even before he joined the APC.
Yes.
He fought. In fact, if the Morocco people go and ask them, he's one of their top champions, fighting for the right of those people. Please, it's not because he's the spokesperson of the APC.
Yes.
But like we have said, there are people who should be there and who are not there, not because they don't deserve to be there. As this, it is the right of the president to honor who he wants to honor.
Not honor who he doesn't want to honor.
Yes. So that's his own right that we must give to him, right? Having said that, I think it's important that Nigerians understand the danger our democracy is facing. We now have a situation where people are opposition have a say in whatever happens in the country. You guys have been seeing images from the Senate. How even members of the ruling party are somehow not from winning elections,
from defections,
not from ending the people. But this is not a risk and danger to the Nigerian democracy. Then I don't know what it is. It does not matter who is benefiting from it today. You recall that his power and he must get it. I have told you to be with the votes of the people. So long as the police and INEC can function well under him.
Former Senate President and the former governor of Kwara State has said that the PDP will sort itself out. And that's a reply to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Former Senate President Bukola Saraki has responded to President Bola Tinubu's comment about the state of disarray in Nigeria's opposition parties, acknowledging the internal turmoil within his party, the PDP. He, however, said that the party...
We know they have been sorting themselves out. And in fact, they have sorted themselves out. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
But we are surviving by the grace of God. We are not living off public funds. Government today is because of the animosity that he once had with the president. Remember the speech he gave in Abeokuta, where he said, because of Saraki's ambition to be president of the Senate, to be his deputy. Remember?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
He specifically mentioned his name. You also remember during the launching of WG Konde's book, he also talked about the Bukola Saraki.
Yes.
So now Saraki has been out of power, and you know these people are very wasteful, the kind of lifestyle that they lead. So back to power, Wike engineered his choice as they read the conciliator to sit in the audience if the president is addressing him to issue the statement he issued so that he can warm. And we know what Wike wants to do with the PDP. And the reason is because, you know, when something is your selling point, you can't lose it. If Wike
able to influence anything in the PDP.
Yes, now that this is another party man who is working for my election. The only reason why he joined the PDP in the first place is to increase his own value. It's not that he knew he was going to win. Now that he's returning, he has more value than those who have been laboring in the party.
So he has a bigger bargaining chip now to throw in.
How many of the party leaders has the governor of Lagos received in his office and honored?
They have done. So you think it's a strategy? Go to the opposition, make some noise, then come back. They will receive you.
Bukola Saraki want to enter.
So, sorry, by Sarkozy, do we have it on record? Has there been any time, for example, where Bukola Saraki has spoken against Wike?
None.
Spoken against Wike?
A minute, sir. If a Bukola Saraki is saying, a minute, sir. If a Bukola Saraki is saying, oh, Mr. President, now we believe you, we'll sort ourselves out. But look, I think we just seen a picture, maybe it was yesterday or the day before, where Wike has led Samuel Otom. And I think Ikpeazu was also there. So when you see...
Was there?
No, they say they don't fight.
Everybody don't they look for his own interest.
They say they don't fight. They fall apart.
Now.
Because you see, there is no more incentive compatibility. It's not about the Nigerian people. Seyi Makinde has been told by a prophet that this is his best chance to become president. And Seyi Makinde knows that Tinubu is wobbling. And if there's a need to replace Tinubu with another southerner, he can get that opportunity. But Seyi will tell you it is because he loves Nigeria. It's not about Nigeria. It's about Seyi Makinde being president. It's not that Wike loves Tinubu. It's about Wike remaining minister. So they use the interest of Nigeria to deceive Nigerians. It's not about you. It's not about me. And now living in IDP camps are being slaughtered in the camp. Whereas their leaders live in fortresses or they bought to get to power. Don't mind Bukola Saraki.
All right.
Even what he's saying.
APC, they won't corner. Okay, it's still political roundtable. A minute. I'm going to come to you, Joseph. Professor Atairu Jega, the former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, has described that after government seems to be hanging over the country, Jega Statement 25 edition, organized by the Covenant National Global Lagos, he explained that while ruled by democratic development, again, I need to repeat that, he explained that while rule by civilians who are elected is often confused with democracy, it is not a sufficient condition for democratic to authoritarian rule. In the context of epileptic democratization since 1999, when we commenced transition from authoritarian military rule to civil democracy. To be sure, we have been 26 years in this transition process, which in the context of our unviable country seem to have taken had impeded its progress. And this is quoting me now. But the governance trajectory we seem to have taken has restrained our country from making serious progress from... This is not real democracy. There's nothing democratic about what we are doing, and we are close to authoritarianism.
I think for me, Professor Jega is talking as a person who they appointed and he did not actually make effort. So, I am in charge of quality assurance of this organization. Let me make sure that before I leave, I will make sure that proper solid foundation. Are you saying
he should have done more with INEC?
No, what could he have done? He was the chairman of INEC. I don't think
what could he have done?
He was during his time they were requesting for money, and the government were providing money for them. So
are you saying that election had issues? There were issues.
No, it's not an issue of election. When you bring a structure, as a person in charge of quality assurance, you build a structure for that company or that organization to make sure that anybody that now build under him, yes, everybody know that if you are serious in anything in the world, you have to embrace that you cannot, whether is it RF, is it card reader,
things will also require legislative approval, which is beyond him.
But he never requested for all those things. People would say, okay, yes.
So that's came back. Okay, so that's the messenger. Now
it will be like, again, maybe God forbid, our dear president, by the time he leave now, he may join our Baba Forta and be writing letter You understand? So the
So he's telling us what we already know.
The thing that we know, then you will now be telling us.
No, really. The message for me.
Well, what Professor Atahiru Jega said.
Yeah.
When we look at it from down to up, we will know that we just have civilian ruling us. Authoritarianism and totalitarianism.
He said it's overing.
You cannot see. Okay, let me start from councillorship election.
Okay.
Without no primary.
Okay, are you talking about Lagos now?
No, I'm talking about generally. It is the godfather that will pick a councillor. There is no primary.
Okay, so all this one they did, there was no primary.
Which primary? Did you see any primary?
They said the list is out. I never see the list out.
That one is one. Two, it is the godfather that will pick the chairman of the local government. They should come and, okay, let's start from Ogun State. They have their own primary whatever. It is applicable. And it's not only Lagos and Ogun, generally.
Everywhere.
Let's now move forward to House of Assembly member. Before you become House of Assembly member, you are going to be an aspirant before being a candidate. Desire any primary election for them to emerge as a candidate, tainted House of Assembly members. He's ruling as an emperor.
No, like Rivers.
Only Rivers. Only Rivers.
Have that is not so huge. Is the one that have godfather that have 3 layers of powers. Like in Lagos now, president. Our president is the leader. After that leader, GAC. After GAC, then governor.
Yeah, but that's the structure of a political party. That's the democracy.
Wait. Now tell me, is GAC part of our constitution? No.
It's a party team.
There is no rule that says that somebody will unpick a governor. It's not part of democracy. The meaning of democracy is not what we are doing. The meaning of democracy, nobody should unpick anybody. Anybody that emerges is going to be the candidate, and that candidate.
And then in the general election, people will vote for.
This is what we call democracy. Let's now move to Senate. Do you know that in some certain states, governor will sit down and write those people that are senatorial candidates of his own party in that particular state? It happens now. Our president. Now tell me, is the National Assembly not in the pocket of our presidents?
No, they say they don't need to fight with the president. They say they are not. No.
I'm not saying fighting.
They say they are
of our president.
No. They say they are.
It's not in the pocket. If you check his own other money or borrow, now go there in pocket.
They say they are not there to fight.
It's not about
with
fighting.
the executive.
Have they challenged
anything at all?
Have they? Even under Saraki, as bad as we say Saraki is to ABC. During that particular time, there are some certain scrutiny
they did to issues.
They did to some certain issues. Now, about Inota.
What I know is that the current CSC chairman talks a lot in the media. He does a lot of talking.
So I'm run after Yahoo boys.
He does a lot of talking. That one I know.
Something to follow because the man knows his audience.
So to me, I believe that all our politicians, even a local government chairman, has become an emperor in his own local government.
Okay, Barrister, I need to bring you into this conversation before we go into the last issue for the evening. Professor Atahiru Jega does not necessarily mean we have a functional democracy, and that as it is, we might be we are getting very close to authoritarian system of government. In fact, in his words, that that no nation can truly build and sustain democracy. That's quoting in verbatim now. That no nation can truly build and sustain democracy without civilians who have adequate knowledge of democracy and respect its own institutionocratic experiment in this Fourth Republic.
Okay, first and foremost, I recognize the fact that Joseph has the right to his opinion and is entitled, but I think it's wrong as far as the guy is concerned. Now, the current innovations and the things that we have done to introduce the PVC, if you recall. Before Jega's introduction of PVC, you were just given a card where you go and
the vote started to reduce.
We're bringing 200, 300. So you give it to him that he did what he could within the available resources. He stood firm. But I agree with him 1,000%. Because you see, the supremacy of the law, the supremacy of the rule of the law, it's about the wishes, overriding wishes of the people, multi-sectorial groups. It's not about majority look at democracy from that point of view. Jega is 100% right. First and foremost, the military, as we know them, are closet civilians. That's why when they retire, they become civilians. They were civilians before they joined the military. And upon retirement, they become civilians. Nobody is a general forever. Okay? But you have to remain a civil person once you are no longer in the military. Now, the point to which Jega is right is the fact that from a personal step towards democracy, Yar'Adua was elected by an election that was deeply flawed. Everybody in the world believes that that election did not meet the basic requirements. But the Nigerian Supreme Court, that problem embarked on electoral reform. Okay? He didn't have to do it, but he did it so that it can deepen the practice of democracy. So that was the movement forward, right? Now, President Jonathan mentioned that he had reason to annul and stay put in the office. Again, he said it was the wish to understand me.
I'm with you, Barrister.
The movement we had towards democracy, which is recognizing the rights of the people, allowing the votes of the people to count, we have now gone back. So Jega is right that the country is sliding towards authoritarianism. And what other evidence do you need than state governors coming out to tell you that if we don't leave our party and join their party, we are not guaranteed of victory. We can win the election, but they will take it from us. That was what the man in the fire said.
Yeah, that's what Pastor Umuano was saying. That I don't want to contest under a party, and they will now tell me, say, the faction that brought me get leg.
You understand? What else do you need more than that? Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, you can see a party, okay, like the Green Party in America. In 2016, the votes that the Green Party took from the Democrats, and so when people begin to fear a political platform that they can run to win election, even no matter how popular they are in their place, it tells you that is no longer democracy, that's authoritarianism. So the guy is right.
Okay, all right. Let's take the last issue because we are fast running out of time, and we're looking at the Senate spokesperson. I don't know what they are saying. He's saying that look, that will even endanger our democracy. So, and what he has said, according to Senator Daramodu, I'm coming, Barrister. He said that what he has said is that look, if the parliament is on part-time, then it means democracy is on part, as full-time. He said, look, that means that democracy is on part-time, and there's no democracy that derides its parliament and thrives. And according to him, the Nigerian parliament is not only for lawmaking. We do oversight function. We advocate for our constituents. It will just be bewildering that even out of the three arms of government that we have in Nigeria, it is only the parliament and parliamentarians that our people have access to, like me and others. We go home almost every time. Again, we are begging our people not to call at this time. But Sir Peter Oko, this is not the right time to call, please. You'll be disrupting our conversation if you are calling at this time. We'll tell you when to call in, please. So, according to the Senate spokesperson, Barrister Senator Yemi Adaramodu, he said, we go home almost every time. And we are the ones when they give birth to a newborn baby. They ask for naming ceremony funds. When they want to marry, they come to us, we fund their marriages. When they are building a new house, it is from people like us that they ask for assistance. So if Senate, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, who is saying that, look, those who are saying we should be doing our job part-time don't know what they are saying. We are the most accessible. We don't just make laws for the Nigerian people. We are accessible to them. When we go home, they come to us. When they want to do naming ceremony, we do it for them. When they want to build a house, we assist them. When they want to do
what does it do full time?
Senate work now.
When it's doing full time, it is full time.
Yes.
To buy keke maruwa, fund birthday, sponsor marriage. Is that what it does full time? Listen,
he says it's part of the job they do apart from lawmaking.
Listen, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. You see, when these guys go about campaigning, not because they are qualified, but because the governor of the state can pick them.
Like Nuruddin has said.
And then employ general of the late APC chairman in Ekiti State. Of course, well, he didn't get there because he was the most qualified. The Senate has a deputy majority whip, who is a first-time senator. That doesn't happen in other established Senate. That position is for a ranking senator. But he's there, and you see him always with the Senate president as his PA anywhere he goes. Okay, so the point I'm making here is that these guys don't understand why they are in the house. First and foremost, I think he doesn't know that his first responsibility is to make law for the good order of the Federation. And part of the laws that they make are things that will compel the executive to embark on certain policies that will help the same people who are troubling them for money. Now, if you're the basic team, would they come to you to fund their birthday party? Would they ask you to pay for their wedding? Now, that's number one. Number two, when you are overcompensating yourself with the resources of the state,
they will come and disturb you now.
Senators and House of Reps only work from Tuesday to Thursday. You know? And they don't go on research like ours. When it comes to real contribution to the Nigerian economy, none of them, their contributions that they are making, if you capitalize it, is not enough to pay their salary. So what are they contributing? And because the people know that they are overcompensating themselves, that's why they are going after them. And the reason why they have taken what should not be their responsibility to enter allowance is there. And when they go to their communities, they spend maybe 100 million out of that one.
For anybody?
For the people. No one was elected to buy grinding machines. No one was elected to pay scholarships. You have to make laws that will lead to the introduction of policies that will solve this problem. It's like the first lady stealing government funds and saying, when you want to do charity, go and do business. Take part of your business money.
Your personal money, use it.
For personal money, set it aside and go and do charity. Let's see. So, let me tell you, these people don't know what they are doing. And that is what we are hearing from that senator. That it is because of what they are doing for their people. What laws have they made? Oversight over the executive. That means whatever the executive is doing that is not profiting the people, is not benefiting the people, as the representative of the people, you stand up to the executive and say, as the executive continue to fund their lavish lifestyle and allow them to dictate what their budget will be and how much they share on a monthly basis. That is
our own training as communicators. Barrister says we just ignore him. He doesn't know what he's saying. I'm worried because, again, I had to share this story with a friend who is also an APC member. It's not something I can say on radio. That if there's a conversation on Nuruddin as to, we want your job to be part-time, of people or quality of representation we have in the National Assembly.
So that Senate president that come from the state of Barrister Curtis. What is his name? Time. Even if you look at the time of Gali Umar Nahab as a Speaker of House of Representatives, and you compare it to what normally happen in the House of Rep and House of Senate as we speak.
Senate.
And difficult. Automatically, when you see a spokesperson like this, then you will know. You want to wonder which kind of conversation.
What I'm saying is
but
that
for somebody to be spokesperson, ordinarily, anybody that's going to be a spokesperson will have some. It may not be a journalist.
Doesn't have
part of the senses of presenting an issue in such of a way that a layman will understand. The second one is somebody that have the sense of argumentation with facts.
He can argue his point with facts.
And he's going to drive to the minds of anybody. What he said,
the truth.
No, what he said. The defense of what he gives doesn't match what he's saying.
No, he said.
But what he said is true, but he's not matching.
Doesn't justify why they should be on part-time or they should be on full-time.
Ordinarily, there are some. Their wives got pregnant
today.
9 months.
They will call the senator.
They will call the senator. One's doing with a senator or with legislative arm. You are not a senator.
Doing projects.
You are not picking a contractor that will do a project in your constituency. Then another one again is the collecting, because how is it so secretive? Why are you keeping it? Then another thing again is this: don't live in life.
So you think that?
So that's why majority of Nigerians too. If you want to take one particular project to your community, you fight for it during the discussion. Then during various committee have now become contractors on their own. They pick contractors. They are doing his own too in his own community, in his own local government. So automatically, Nigeria as the system of Nigeria is so fragile that our legislative arm as even doing the job. That's why you see.
Out of time, Joseph.
Yes, I think the people that ask.
Yes, sorry, barrister.
I'm talking to you. No governor is on full time in Nigeria. Not to talk of
governor.
Assembly people that
around. We see them.
Around where? Monday to Friday.
Listen. Look, don't allow me to mention names.
No, don't mention names.
See, some of the governors are permanent residents in Abuja.
Working for the states from Abuja.
Okay.
I'm telling you, some of them, once the federal government pays monthly allocation, that's when they go. So if governors who are members of the executive are on part-time, why is it even difficult for National Assembly members to be on Friday?
How much do they even get at the end of the month?
But it's not up to one. Their salary is not up to $100, not even up to $50. Minimum wage. You guys work for only Tuesday to Thursday. You say the rest you go to do.
No, if you like, there are some people that will be in Abuja, they will not come for season.
But we know as a matter of fact that you guys are either mostly traveling overseas or you are going to supervise your building projects across the country. So let them stop lying to themselves. There are part-time legislative assemblies in other parts of the world.
Yes.
That are doing much better than the full-time Nigerian National Assembly people. You know?
Okay.
So it's not about the money they earn or how the people are taking the money from them. That's not the people in that.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Barrister Curtis. It's 7:30. I'll have to allow you to go. But Joseph, before we open the phone lines, you were about to say something. So, Barrister Curtis, thank you so much for being a part of the show this evening.
Before I go,
yes.
Let us warn that Tղᴇ chairman.
No, he's not a friend of mine.
And the police. Let them not misbehave next time again.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister. God bless you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, Oga Fuad. Yeah. You must have that. Is the honorable who is the spokesperson of
for it to become his spokesperson.
Yes. Now, I think for me, he did not understand the question very well. That's why he gave that answer
to that question.
Because as a spokesperson of the Senate, you are a de facto Senate president.
You can
as
speak
a
for the Senate.
spokesperson of House of Rep, you are de facto speaker.
Yeah.
As a spokesperson of IGP, you are a de facto IGP.
Because you are speaking for him.
Yeah. Go to,
so it means you must have that capacity to
every
think
state,
like the spokesperson.
I will say Adam Sosh, my very wonderful distinguished senator
Adam Sosh. He will speak well for the Senate.
He will speak because he will listen and know the way to present the answer.
So are you saying because of what this man has said, they should just remove it?
No, he did not understand the question. And that is why someone is asking you.
Because me, I wonder.
Is it not better you are? Is it part-time? You now start saying about.
We pay for wedding. Pay for baby ceremony.
What's the correlation between?
Why did he want to be a full-time senator?
No,
that's the question. But he said they are paying. That's your question. Was what they asked him.
Yes.
And he said, look,
it's his wedding.
This job, where would they do? He passed waiting that he seal. We pay for weddings. We help people to build their houses. It's not a small job.
So if the man understood that question, he will not give that answer. So I will appeal to the Senate
to change that.
Whether now they should leave.
Speaking for the Senate,
because it's like you are bringing that house.
But even the Senate president, how well does he speak for the
Senate? No, Senate president, I love him. He tell all of us that he's an uncommon person.
So he has uncommon statements for the people.
He has to be uncommon.
We'll leave it at that.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, this is Babatunde from Ikoto.
Yes, go on, sir.
All right. I greet each and every one of you today.
Greet you.
Concerning this, our brother, Mr. President.
Yes, our president.
One have to pay very good attention to the serious one, because a city president that cannot see something that's not good concerning an election, here some people are denied, some people not to vote. There are no certain people there, right? So if we have to leader like that is sitting on the affairs of the nation, and with all this that about one party system and everything that is what once if we check the way the group they were bringing together, it is kind of a people that they were operating in the kind of authoritarian people that are in mass in power. They want to take every aspect of things. So
not necessarily what he's saying.
Oh yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Babatunde from Ikoto. Things that look, it's not going to be much about what the president is saying. Nigerians should keep an eye on what he's actually doing. Yes. He has a politics that seems to support the kinds of things we're seeing. That even a professor Ataidu Jega is warning us about. 09136000410 09136000410. Political Roundtable Mainland 98.3 of them. We've touched three very important issues. Barrister Curtis Adigba joined us all the way from the US. Nuri Adigbero is here with us in the studio. Joseph Folorunsho is also here with us. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to you, all the wise men in the studio.
Yes, good evening, Prince Wise.
Thank you, my dear. More blessing for all of you. And happy Father Day.
Thank you.
You see, number one, the spokesman of the Senate, those supposed to be in that position, is not free to handle that position. The person, if they were listening to this program this evening, is to change that man. That is number one.
Okay.
Number two, this Mr. Man talks very well on June 12th. And I want to remind all Nigeria that two personalities are feeling so bad, so sad in next June 12th. What are those two personalities? Number one, the man who had lost the election. Number two, the man benefit for complete 80 years without remember MKO Abiola for anything. Those two, because they can't right the wrong anymore. They remember the eternity unless if the junta come in and they cancel their democracy. Therefore that, and for Mr. President, he spoke very well. Those people honored, we have to talk about it. Those who are not honored now, they should go for next time. But Mr. President has done well, and Mr. President merit where he is today. He fought for democracy. When they were now brother has no money, he give money. Well, we can't sell it. He give money to finance this activity. Don't that true?
Okay.
You want to be president when you have 30,000 followers. God bless you for you. Let me stop here.
God bless you too. Hello, good evening.
Hello, sir. Thank you very much. I greet everybody.
We greet you.
You see, my brother. I just want to congratulate Oga Nurudeen. That end of the program. I call you thank God. President don't return. You see, my brother, it's what I'm saying. If we have come as a you, I'm telling you, this is what I'm saying. So when I tell you our problem is spiritual, what I'm saying, you that time for people like Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yeah, how are you? My friend, Mr. Fuad. How are you today?
Good evening, Barrister Peter Oko.
Yeah. God bless all of you. I had little, of what we were discussing. Because personally, I don't believe we are practicing democracy. We have to look for another name. Because the home...
good evening.
And the parties over there and the rest of the...
Yes.
And the crew, the our engineer need from Yaba.
Okay, engineer need, please go on, sir.
The message during the June 12th, something. I don't find that was presented by Mr. President, highly political. Highly political. How long we continue to practice
play politics on Nigeria, you are very happy saying that he has never said he wants it, I will clear it away. And he has had the chance through the spent balls like the Wike and some of them. And see what even Jega himself introduced. They don't want it again. That PVC thing. They don't want Nigeria to go. If you look at the new electoral people voice, Jega is very spot on by his speech.
All right.
And that man, that PRO of the Senate that you are talking about, is the price for the job. If you look at it, both the Senate leader, crazy. So,
all right.
Mr. Governor of Osun has to go and visit Mr. President before the High Court. The court will pronounce that it is the election there that the APC in Osun is claiming.
So sorry, Engineer. All right, so let's take this call. Okay, good evening, Pastor Ambrose. Good evening, yes.
Me, I believe that, all those are just is because of your voice. They are not happy hearing your voice. But thank God for Mainland FM. And I thank God for everybody in the studio. I just joined. I hope, is there any other person there apart from?
No, by topics we discussed this evening.
I've been listening now.
Okay, beautiful.
I've been listening now.
Beautiful, okay.
So what I'm here, I will not blame the man. Because, rather, simple, I cannot help you to put your house in order. It's a political statement, and even if we all knew how Jonathan also wanted to come back to work, the judiciary is not allowing them to work.
You think so?
The election, you said what?
How do you say it's not allowing judiciary to work?
Because all the court processes now, they are tilted towards one side, and it is not possible.
What facts do you have that it is Mr. President that is making judgments of the God go one side?
That you see, when you go to court, you already know. Look at how they will interpretations of Mr. President. INEC also, they are not helping matters. Now, if this man is a hero of democracy, he should allow democracy to function. Democracy is not my will. Democracy is a will of the people. But we are not seeing that presently. So that is my worry. And lastly, please, Mr. President, allow INEC to start work at yesterday.
Hello, good evening. We'll take this call and then we'll read the messages we have on Facebook. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. My name is the people you call honorable. I don't know how many of them deserve that first 6 days of that honorable they were behind. And how many of them came in through proper election? Is it not selection? They have every right to insult us now. That if we need something, we come to them. You need that, they come. By the time they will be coming back, come and solicit for food. That is number one. Number two, if the baile in local language, baile of a village, is saying that it's less concerned about his community disarray, you can just phantom the type of baile that baile is. You yourself can phantom it out. I know that there is a debate. Where are they today? Some of them have died, their family cannot see 7. But if it is 4 years, another 4 years, history is there for all of us to judge. Good evening.
Okay, history is there for all of us to judge. I remembered when 5 political parties all nominated Abacha as their candidate. The rest is Ogaju. 5 parties, all of them say
that will hold the calf feet. And Abacha will just come up.
There are some people in Nigeria sometimes at a particular time fit. And the man was almost going to wear Agbada on Kakio.
In fact, if not because of pressures and the death that came. I'm telling you. Easily he will transform into a civilian.
You know, every time Nigeria, I used to say one thing, my grandfather would intelligent
people around me.
Oh, not just be clapping even when all my chair don't.
Even
my chair
today
don't
now, if you see a lot of Zachovans, there are some politicians that want to do very well, but there are some people around them
that will not just be doing well.
They will make sure.
Today on the show, I'm sure the Maritime Matters people already closed matters. We have John Bernard Oyiwu saying the president shouldn't have made such statement at the National Assembly because we have different political parties in the assembly. I think it was only Senator the former governor of Bayelsa said that Dixon, yes, Seriaki sustained democracy for 26 years without mentioning the aberration completely with the fact that look, if that in a democracy, in a state, he was not elected to rule, then it's a shame on what we've achieved so far in democracy.
We are bringing soldiers back.
Former soldiers to come and rule a state and remove a governor that was elected by the people. I agree that it was a complete shame on whatever we think we've achieved on a democracy.
What of even giving small respect to people that have been killed in their various houses? In the presence of all these,
I think it was also sad that nothing was said about the state of insecurity, people that have been killed.
Another thing again is this. I think in his speech, Chief MKO Abiola, because that is the reason why we have the June 12 as the Democracy Day. A lot needs to be, especially those
he mentioned him. I think he mentioned him.
No, it's not about mentioning him. It's about passing the message of what he stood for, so that the
children of today
will be able to know who's Chief MKO.
But I agree with Barrister that with Joseph that look, the fact that nothing was really said about people who have lost their lives in the presence of the country. It's also a minus.
As we speak, they are still killing people in Benue, and politicians are doing as if nothing is happening.
All right, let's take the messages we have. John Bernardo is saying he's addressing Nigerians, not APC members. The national honor has politics in it because many names who fought for democracy were omitted because they are not on the side of the president at this time. On the lawmaker talking about marriage and naming ceremony shows that he has no business being in the chamber. Was he not the one who said they need SUVs because of bad roads? He always talks out of point. That Senate spokesperson.
He's
surprised that he's still holding on to, he's still in that position.
Look.
That's Yemi Adaramodu senator.
Don't forget that in the Senate, it's not about what you know.
Moment in Ikeja, Atondaka Ode Samuel is saying there's no need to smear the president Tinubu. There's no need to smear the president Tinubu with situation in the Labour Party or saying President Tinubu lost power. Imagine that Tinubu was out of power from 2007, still have control over his political group. So sorry for whatever view your guest speaker, but I beg to differ. Okay, he has his right to differ. Akejuola Loye saying Tinubu lost power, believe or leave it, the people surrounding him will do everything possible. Well, we are still talking about 2027, so let's just keep our eye on that.
Has not even come.
No, we don't put that one out of calculation. Now 2027, everybody did now. Authentic Voice TV is saying, I don't blame President, I blame Supreme Court that can't give clear judgment. The same judiciary that normally sits on the matter between husband and wife suddenly can't interfere in what is going on in the political party. That one shocked me too. Adeshola Olariwaju Femi Okechu immensely. Mr. Ford, I think I want to align with Barrister Kotan. Leaders can tinker with their country's constitution to extend their tenure. Why can't President who achieve it again? Let us leave that. Let us not even preempt it. Let us even not think about it. I don't think we are going to be in a situation to cross that red line.
In this country, our policies has...
It's possible. No, it may know. But you were here when a senator, a senate president say, "Is our father." Anything he bring, then no, that's it. Anything our father bring.
Yo, Ogbonna, I understand you, but please, let's say God forbid, and leave that for now. Okay.
You remember you said we should not recall Buhari. That we are not going to be thinking that Buhari performed very well. That God forbid.
And I stick to my God forbid. Don't mean now, but this one I still say God forbid. All right, Shodipo. Good evening, gentlemen in the studio. Though I'm not a fan of President Tinubu, but I think I won't blame him for the disarray in the opposition camp. They should block any loophole too, President, for the disarray we have in the opposition. And then Bright Okon is saying, INEC chairman Prince Nwosu that announced Abiola. No, Professor Nwosu is also on the list. If they were still alive. Reason being that they would have been criticizing Lydia Adedeji, the Ibadan woman that was shot dead by Sergeant. She should have been on the list, at least posthumous list.
He's one of those
heroes of democracy. Adewumi Mason on the list. This isn't the first time the country is celebrating June 12 now. Where on earth would anyone force the current administration of President Tinubu to honor Babafemi Ojudu? He never have faith in Asiwaju to become president, so why would he benefit from his government? I remember him saying if Tinubu emerged as the APC candidate, that he will return to his farm in Ekiti, and he has done that.
Now, one thing again is that the award we are talking about is not about Tinubu.
It's about what he heroes of democracy. for democracy.
So, it's not about him.
Okay, well, please let's applaud the president for this, and he had done and wait for more lists in subsequent years. That's Stephen from Ayob. Okay, Al-Azan Tanko Musa is saying, I get to join you guys that he wasn't going to assist opposition to manage the crisis within its fold. Even Saraki, politics is a competitive venture, and only persons who are prejudiced will criticize such position as advanced by Mr. President. Kabiru Adegbero is saying, I greet you, Ogafar, and others in the studio. To me, my contribution to all is that Nigerians should be ready to make a wise choice in 2027. God bless my country, Nigeria. Tony Ajishegiri is saying, good evening, very patriotic Nigerians in the studio and the barrister on the call. Everything you guys have said is the truth. The old truth and nothing but our national truth. May God bless you all. You need to bring the Israel-Iran conversation to the situation room. Okay, that will be okay. You said situation, but not political roundtable. Maybe tomorrow, maybe we'll do something on that. I look forward to today's edition, thinking you consider it as a burning issue of international relevance. Hopefully, Barrister Curtis will help us shed more light on the impact it's likely to cause Nigerians in particular, as the federal government had issued a ceasefire advisory. Have a great working week. I think we'll deal with the Iran-Israel issue during the week.
What concern Agbero?
I think we should just mellow, keep to our own wahala. Although it's of international dimension, but I think we should not put our mouth too much yet. Processes that brought about June 12 wasn't democratic as a result of the imposition of parties and manifested by military regime. Perhaps it should be called MKO Abiola Day. On part-time legislature, I think Senator Adamodu is being mischievous and okay. It's only in Nigeria that the function of legislatures has gone beyond lawmaking to allocation of funds to execution of projects. Our parliament is nothing but a joke and a disgrace to democracy. These guys are a bunch of all right. Those words are too heavy. Akinde Idowu is saying, good evening, Mr. Fuad. There's no opposition in Nigeria anymore. For Prince Adigbenro and Joseph Folorunshọ, to our own politicians are practicing. It is different. The democracy our politicians are practicing is different from real democracy. Babalola Williams is saying, okay, he's talking about Prince Wise. He has a right to his opinion, please let's allow him. And then Jerry Eruba is saying Tinubu is not good in governance, but a professor in politics. He called it a kind of politics. I can't say. I'm sorry, we have the phone is still buzzing up, but we can't pick any more calls now. We have the man with his traditional cap here, the Marital Matters man, and decide the Enigma already with us in the studio. Thank you so much, Thank you, Joseph Folorunshọ, for being a part of the show this evening. Oh God, waiting this time I will not talk today.
It's revenge part 2.
Is revenge what?
Revenge part 2. That's what.
Okay, the revenge that happens in marriage.
Marriage, yeah, we are doing part 2.
Okay, all right.
Especially at the old age, the men. It's very, very important. I have like 7 cases on autonomy. As we speak,
of old men who are suffering now.
They are suffering. That the women said, when we now investigate, he slapped me when I have the firstborn.
And they are now punishing the man when he's now older.
75 now.
Well, the marital matters people will deal with that. They are saying that men, the things you do today, you might suffer the consequence tomorrow.
The one that wants to take second wife to be planning your revenge.
Yeah. Okay. This is what we call it a political roundtable, Mainland 98.3 FM. Let's do this again next week.
Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial. 98.